Good work. That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you want me to jump over here with you?
Yeah, or however, we can push this back a little bit too. Yeah, so then we have the entire end of the table, so we can both
Okay.
be on either side.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
All right. Cool.
Recording. Let's go.
Let's do it. Absolutely. All right. So, really appreciate working with you. The opportunity to work with a very celebrated director like yourself. I'm most interested in meeting your needs as a producer, and that's what this business is about. So, just some of the elements that are most important to you, and we can see if we can reach certainly the middle ground so it's advantageous to you on those elements.
Okay. So great to meet you as well, Devo. Again, I'm a young and up and coming director.
Absolutely, it's exciting.
and
Yep.
and I've got a couple of things that are particularly important to me. Love to give you those in order of importance, and maybe we can kind of at least start from there.
Absolutely.
That might give us a good way to begin. So I'll tell you that most important to me is editorial control.
Okay.
I really feel like when I have full editorial control over what gets cut and those things in terms of the floor, the final end of the final cut of the movie, it's important for the artistic vision.
Okay.
Certainly. After that, it's the post-production budget. I think for really to have the same kind of splash that I had in my last type of movie, you really need to have a few big names in terms of special effects, and this is a thriller, so you want it to be good.
Okay.
After that, the male lead is going to be huge in terms of getting the right audience, right? We want action and thriller folks. We really want to bring in women to really get the biggest pull. So the male lead's going to be particularly important. So those three are my top. After that, it's kind of a medium watch between the child star, who's going to be in there, and my base salary. The rest of the things in terms of importance, it's just my share, the female lead, and the locations and scenes in that order.
Okay. The three most important elements to me, and I appreciate you sharing me yours. Also editorial control,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that there we might have to have a little bit of a good give and take to be.
Yep.
Second, female lead, and
Okay.
then third, locations and scenes. So I definitely think that we can meet. I think if we kind of did a tit for tat, so to speak, on the post-production budget and the female lead, and the male lead and the location, I think we'd be pretty well served. So that we can both kind of maximize what we want to hope to get out of this movie.
Okay.
So maybe we can start there, make sure that we can kind of reach our relative, reach elements that are really favorable to us there. Because I don't want to nuke the negotiation going back and forth about editorial control, and it turns out that we can get additional substantial value out of these less contentious elements. Does that make sense?
I totally agree. So, just taking the notes into account here. So it looks like we both want editorial control, right?
Right. Some measure. I don't need unilateral. I don't need full control or anything to that extent. But
Okay.
Right.
So looking at that, I will say that, again, I'm really willing to take some big hits in terms of who I get as a female lead, and you mentioned locations and scenes. I think there's some mixes that we can get there in exchange for full editorial control.
Okay.
I think there's a happy medium in there. I don't know. Do you feel it's best for me to kind of open salvo on that, or?
Yeah, or I can just tell you. Okay, so let's consider. So for female lead, I have Jennifer Garner. That's my top choice.
Okay.
And so, if you were willing to do Jennifer Garner, one city for locations and scenes, I would give you. I'd be willing to part with, certainly even very limited control, for that option. And then we can see where you fall in post-production and male lead.
So I will tell you that feels like, in terms of what I prefer, that's a whole lot.
Okay.
That's a whole lot to ask for. So that's a good opening. I think we probably might have to back down from that a little bit.
Okay.
I think.
Would you rather push for full editorial control, or do you want to back off from my choices in terms of?
Well, so those things you just offered, to me, they seem a bit extreme, right? And that wasn't even an offer for very limited control, so I'm still giving up something.
Sure.
I would say this. I would be willing to, let's say, go with Jessica Alba or Megan Fox.
Okay.
Maybe prefer to be Jessica Alba. and go for one city, one exotic location, and then go for a very limited at that point.
Okay. So let's see. So and very limited included with that. That would be
Yeah.
the kind of tit for tat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be frank, do you get more juice out of those options, or do you get more satisfaction from having full editorial control and my initial choices?
So what I can tell you,
Yeah.
without kind of opening my kimono completely,
Yeah.
is that your initial choices are generally the worst for me.
Right. I think it's vice versa. I think we're diametrically opposed on each of these elements.
Okay.
You know?
So I would say that in terms of matching up like the opportunity cost
Right.
that I'm looking at,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get you the greatest number of points that we can do, and then still.
right, and I'm trying to do the same thing for you because
Right.
I understand that editorial control has great value to you as well.
Right.
While those are smaller concessions, if I were to make those smaller concessions point of the opportunity cost,
Yeah.
it would be
If you give me both of the location and female lead concessions, just ballpark, how many points does that cost you versus the options that you just gave me?
so it's approaching from a gram perspective
Yeah.
about 900.
900. Okay, and then so that's 900 points. That's how much you're giving up versus the alternatives that you just gave me, right? And then if we bring back the post production budget and the male lead, and I give you exactly what you're looking for, how many points does that get
Actually,
you?
that would help me significantly.
Yeah, because I have a lot of room on those.
I see what you're saying. Okay, in that case then, all right. So let's do this. I'd be willing to. So you're saying very limited.
Very limited.
Get points on those. Then you give me exactly what I'm looking for the male lead and post production.
Which I take it is probably 2 million and Jason Statham, just to be clear.
That's about right.
Okay.
So I'm just doing a little quick math here, if you don't mind.
You know, don't take your time.
And just if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
of the remaining three, after, because we have about 5 in play here, given the editorial control
Right.
mix. What do you feel about base salary, director share revenue, and child star in terms of importance of those last 3 elements?
So my
They're not insignificant to me, but
right. Yeah, it's not exactly. So child star comes next, followed by base salary, followed by share of revenue.
okay, that's about the same for both of us.
Okay.
Alright,
Is there any
I'm assuming
is there any divergence so that we can just kind of break these up in each? Like, do you care more about, for example, base salary? Okay, so my lowest is share of revenue. Is that your lowest priority too?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we of the remaining, just to be clear. Okay, so we're kind of, because it's hard because we have to the matching like kind of sucks for us,
Yeah.
because that's okay. And then so child star, and so then the most juice I get is of the remaining is child star. Is that true for you too?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like if we can get to a good place on the main 5 that are in play, and we can almost assume an average on there in terms of an expected value, like middling for both of us.
right,
That would just be points given probably along the same way
right.
for us. So I'm just trying to do an add up and see if that gets me to where I need to be,
That's good.
and then we can kind of work our way backwards. If you don't mind me taking like a step back for a second.
Take your time. I'd rather just nail your numbers and anything.
I'd rather we both know it, because
Exactly.
I think if we get the average there, that's essentially like just additional for us, and then we can kind of work to see if we can get to a good place on the biggest items,
Exactly.
and that way we don't even have to worry that hard about the lower items for that. So let's see here. Of course, he makes Child Star not have an odd number of choices.
Right. Yeah.
Clever. Well, that's fine. I think there's probably going to be some give among the others, so that might cover that difference. But
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, a lot of these have 4 choices, which means
yeah,
you can just split the pie.
yeah, which is good because I think you can still work with that.
Right.
So I'm just going to assume an average of those 2 choices, assuming that we'll make up the points somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we can get pretty close.
Yeah, agreed. I think that we could settle well above our advances, even if, so long as we're kind of fair with the
Yeah.
next couple. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool. So what do you, in terms of child star? All right, so just maybe who knows? Maybe like our tops are the same, but I doubt that. So my top is Selena Gomez,
Okay.
and my lowest is Rico Rodriguez. Is yours the inverse?
No, it's actually the same.
Okay. Okay. Good. Perfect. So then child star. So Selena Gomez. That's excellent. Okay.
That's
perfect.
good.
The next one, I mean, base salary obviously has to, it's just the nature of things. But, if we were, my middle, to be totally frank, in the spirit of sharing things, is 5.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
That's what I was thinking originally
Okay.
with that. So that's an average taker. We actually just gained a bunch of bonus points for having the same child star. So that's actually really
Right.
good.
Yeah. Exactly. That's way better than I was expecting. And then, last, director revenue split. Again, I'm just gonna share things. So 7%.
Yeah, that's the middle.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're
Perfect.
opposed on that. So,
Yeah.
but the difference between the top level points on that
Is not
is
huge,
not
right?
huge.
Okay, so that kind of waxed up, I think, pretty evenly. So very limited. I get my female star of choice, Jennifer Gardner. I get the one city, but then you get the, of course, like we said, limited control on my end, and then post production budget set at $2 million. Male lead Jason Statham, and we agree on Selena Gomez. She's going places, I guess. And then base salary at $5 million, and director share of revenue at 7%. Is that whacked pretty fairly?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that wax up pretty fairly.
Perfect. And that,
Let's just do the math, just double checking to
Of
see
course.
how we end up. But I think it's actually going to be pretty good.
yeah, all things considered.
Yeah, all things definitely considered. So let me just write this out here. You said very limited?
Yeah, I'll put it.
Yeah. Let me just start going from the top. So base salary, revenue share, post production, one city you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. Statham. Very limited.
Right.
Jennifer Garner. Basically, okay, let's do quick calculation. I think that looks really good for both of us.
Mhm.
Some awesome proportions, actually.
Yeah, me too. That child star especially really. It's good.
It's very good. It's
Yeah.
actually better than I expected. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Cool. Looks like a good deal.
We have a pretty good deal here.
I guess I know what you're rooting for tonight. I like the shit. I like the hoodie. It's awesome.
Oh,
Last
well,
night.
last night, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my alma mater.
Really?
Where I went to school.
I just watched 30 for 30 with Christian Leitner. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was
I
really
think
good.
it's later.
Yeah, it's.
I recorded that. I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's pretty good. I was like, what was interesting to me was that
Oh, we probably should stop
Yeah, we
this
should.
recording.